Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are talking about Love, Tyrant, or Renai Bōkun, which was recommended by Goose. Thank you, Goose, for this recommendation. Very much appreciated. Kind of. Before that, we were just honestly kind of chit-chatting a little bit, talking about what's going on in a little bit, and some future plans. So for the next 4 weeks, if you're not live right now, in 4 weeks we will be live again from the posting of this episode.
Sounds good.
Indeed. If you want to catch a part of that wider conversation, you can go to patreon.com/featured anime podcast. $1 a month will gain you access to bonus content and more, all starting for $1 a month. And also, if you want to help support us and help us grow and everything like that, we do have other links and options and availabilities for you all right there on the show notes, as well as on our website at featuredanimepodcast.com. And of course, there's Tokyo Treats. It is oh so delicious, oh so good. I do highly recommend them. And if you ever are feeling adventurous, you can use our affiliate link along with coupon code Featured Anime and get $5 off that very first box. And trust me, the treats are worth it. And now on to the meat and potatoes. Love, Tyrant is 12 episodes long. It aired from April 2017 all the way through June 2017. A couple producers for it are TV Tokyo and Sotsu, Half HP Studio, just to name a couple of them. The studio for it is EMT Squared. It's based off of a web manga, and the genres are comedy, romance, harem, and supernatural. Now, the kind of basis or the foundation for this anime is you have our primary character, Guri, who shows up on Senji's door, basically saying, hey, you got to kiss someone or someone's going to die. And she's very vague, but then fills it in pretty quickly. And so what ends up happening in spontaneous moment of non-judgment, which is constant for Guri, writes her name with him for the person that he has to kiss because he already had kissed her. And so there's more details and everything like that. We'll actually get into that for the anime. But the primary purpose of the story is basically Guri is trying to find out what love is. And Senji is basically having a harem created around him at the exact same time. And he's having a harem created around him at the exact same time. And he's navigating through the dangers, let's call them, as he's going through trying to help Guri do what she's supposed to be doing as Cupid or an angel, and as well as help navigating the circumstances along with everyone else that is becoming a part of his harem, while learning about the background for not only for her, but for everyone else at the exact same time. And that's kind of a very brief, simplistic oversimplification of this anime, simply to say the least. And the reason why is because, it is because it's accurate. Now we can go into greater details and everything like that, but honestly, I don't feel like we need to. So on a scale of up to 10, Rick, how would you rate?
Well, given the immense detail we have here, it's a solid 9.5. Just obviously 9.5, bro. This will be a short one, obviously. No, I'm kidding.
What's that, like 5 minutes?
That. Oh, dear Lord. So yeah, going back to the beginning, right? Guri shows up to his doorstep and she is like super vague. She is really vague about what's going on. She's talking to Senji and says, hey, you have to do this or someone's going to die. You're going to die. He slams the door in her face, thinking that she is someone just randomly showing up, talking nonsense to him. And then as she but phase shifts, ghosts her way through his stomach, he realizes that she's being serious.
She's not normal.
Right. And she's dressed as a Grim Reaper. She's cosplaying, so she has the scythe and everything like that. He's like, nope, which is why he closes the door. But honestly, he as he's sitting there talking to Guri, she pulls out this kiss note, which is very, very rip-offy, very, I mean, like they do that a lot in this one, but they poke a lot of fun at it. And he immediately goes to, oh God, who am I going to die? And it's like, no, you're not going to die. You're going to have to kiss this person when I write your name with someone else here. And I don't know who else. And you have 24 hours. If you don't, right, you're just going to die a virgin for all eternity. You're going to remain a virgin and you will die for all eternity, a virgin. And he's not all about that life. A high schooler, teenager. He's like, no, bro, I don't want that. No, man. So he goes, I could kiss anyone. And Guri says yes and plants a big smoocher on him. Right. Which leads into the spontaneous and why she becomes his first girl for the harem, which leads into what you said at the beginning, right? Immortality to a degree.
No, that's not that he can't feel pain anymore.
Oh,
He can't die from it.
Right. Now,
I mean, he leans into it fairly hard in some instances when the plot demands it.
Oh, yes.
But for the most part, you really don't. It's not a focal point until it is. Yeah. And then it's not even a big one, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll tell you this right now, man. When we were watching this, I was just like, this is ridiculous fun. This is, like there's some fan service in here, but they break the fourth wall with it too, right? So it's not like, purposeful censorship is going on here. It's like, no, purposeful by the anime because that's how they wrote it. Like, honestly, Guri comes out and she's like having, I have this fog that's here covering up and we can have lights, and it's dancing around and has like these lights just like randomly popping up, covering everything everywhere. And so they don't have a problem or an issue with poking fun at themselves or the industry as a whole when it comes to something like that, right? They know that full on, this is how things tend to get censored, so why not have fun with it with this particular character?
Oh yeah, make it make sense, you know? Yeah. And that's one of the nice things about this anime. It's humorous. It reminded me a lot of like, not to get too dated, but it reminds me a lot of Deadpool-esque shenanigans. And I'm already a fan. But if it fits, it fits. If it's, no matter how outlandish it is, if it fits a scenario, they do it.
Right.
And they make fun of it, and the beautiful part about this anime is they don't take themselves too seriously, having a plot while still actually having a story that as out of this world it is, it still makes sense. Somebody still sat there, planned everything out, and I feel like they're like, all right, we got point A, point B. Now, what can we throw in here that's not going to disrupt the continuity of the show while still driving it forward? And, another thing is you probably should watch these in order. If you end up skipping one or you end up skipping two or three.
We typically don't say, like the general consensus, right? Whenever watching an anime is you watch it in order, right? Very rarely do you not watch an anime in order. And
what I'm saying is, go ahead.
I was going to say, and when you don't watch an anime, like in the instances where it's one where you don't have to watch it in order, we straight up call it out because those are so rare and far and few in between, right?
Yeah. But I guess the reason I'm pointing it out here is I don't usually see a show that one breaks the fourth wall, makes fun of itself while still being the show, that adheres to you got to watch every single one in order. Otherwise it won't make sense.
There's a lot of shows that kind of do that. It's not, a lot of them aren't really super entertaining, but there's a lot that actually do that.
Okay. I was going to say none come to mind that I can currently think of, but You're probably right. You've seen way more than me. So I will, in this particular instance, I will defer. So,
I mean, like we've seen some that were on here where it's the exact same kind of thing, right? It's not like that you can't watch it in order. So like Konosuba, right? Okay. You have to watch that one in order simply because it won't really make sense if you watch it out of order. You have to watch it in order. But it has a lot of random shenanigans or things like that in there that are just seem like it's kind of random, but it's really not. And it won't make sense if you don't watch it in order. You'll be lost because something happened literally just that last episode that's going to become immediately relevant in this next episode. And then same thing for combatants will be dispatched. The exact same thing. Makes a lot of random information, throws a lot of random stuff out there, but you have to watch it in order or it's not going to truly make sense on what's going on, what's happening, or why that character suddenly pops in. And they already have that issue as it was in combatants will be dispatched too, where they had random characters and then they would immediately fill in why they were there. But it's you got to be. It's always like that, no matter what, where you have to watch it in order. Otherwise, it won't make sense.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're watching like Junji Ito collection or
we're not
that you never watched.
Yeah, no,
or Actually I Am that you never watched. I mean, like you have to watch that one in order, but you never watched it, so you wouldn't know. Actually, you only know about the time traveling granddaughter.
Hey, Cliff Notes for the win. Why'd you got to bring up Junji Ito? I'm sitting right next to a lake that's already pitch black to begin with, and
what's that?
Anyway,
what's that crawling up on your window, bro?
Oh, don't you dare! That is hurtful and vindictive.
Looks like a head slug. What?
Giant African slug? I thought you loved me. I could have sworn
I do.
At least one.
That's why I say this. That's why I say this. It's because I do it with love. Obviously.
From a distance, I see.
A few thousand miles.
A few thousand miles. Of all the shows that I didn't want to watch and that I didn't finish, that's got to be one of the worst ones. Because no. Anyway. Anyway. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So I will concede that there are most of the ones we watch, you do have to watch in order. But I felt like this one shouldn't have needed that, but it did. Because I skipped around because I fell asleep while watching it and I couldn't figure out where I was at. So I skipped from 6 to 3, and I was like, there's a lot that's missing here. So I rewatched episode 5, episode 4, and then it made sense. And anyway, I guess what I was trying to say is it matters. If you skip one, you're gonna get lost.
Oh yeah, 100%. That you and I can agree on is like if you skip one, it will 100% make no sense whatsoever.
Now on the good side, on the good note of this, that means that there's a lot that keeps happening in the episodes. Like it's not fluff most of the time. Well, there was 1 or 2 episodes that I felt like it could have gone without because it really didn't show much progression. But that aside, there's so much happening in every episode that it's really entertaining.
Yeah.
And it keeps you not paying attention because that's not the right way trying to. It keeps you motivated to finish the episode and then looking forward to the next one. I can't imagine having to watch this week to week because I'd probably sit back and watch the same episode multiple times trying to glean something else out of it. Not to the same extent that I did Shield Hero, because that one, that I loved every second of those. But yeah, there was a few questionable parts for me. Like okay, I got a question for you. This one might be a bit dicey, but the episode, I think it was 2, maybe 3, that dealt with the student and the teacher. Okay. Do you happen to know like the age difference on that one? Was like were we dealing with seniors, juniors?
I would probably venture to say that the female character was probably a junior in high school.
I asked because it seems like she was talking about graduating shortly and
maybe she was a third year
to college.
Yeah, maybe a third year, and then after she graduates, she would get with the one guy. Yeah.
She was like, I'm gonna get a lawyer job. I'm gonna take care of him because we all know that teachers don't make very much. And I was like, that's long sighted. That's a plan.
Yeah.
And that's dedication to the one you love.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was an interesting touch and go there for a second. I was like, I don't think this is okay. And then later on,
but
like,
it's honestly that's nothing new. They do a lot of that, or they show a lot of those types of circumstances or situations in anime a lot. And I don't know if it's a commonplace out there or if it's uncommon out there, or like what the overall non-anime viewpoint of it is. But I mean, like it is certainly a common trope in shows, to be sure.
Okay. One of the things I freaking thought was hilarious, the redhead main character who just murders everyone, and her blonde-haired little sister who's obsessed with her. I think I texted you about it. I'm like, dude, really? And one of the lines that had me rolling on the floor was,
is it because we're blood related?
It's
like, yeah, that might be a little bit something to do with it. I might have something to do with it. I'm just gonna throw that out there real quick.
Just a minor, small detail, just we're legitimate siblings.
Yeah,
which does really make. Granted, this is me throwing logic in it, which we all know how that goes. I was gonna say she's a redhead with a blonde-haired sister.
Yeah,
and not even like a little bit of a. Yeah, apparently they have they have the same parents and
have the same dad, different mothers.
Oh, okay.
You didn't get that, like, from the multiple times that it was talked about where the mothers actually legitimately met and talked about it.
I thought it was like an auntie situation in a bad translation.
Like it was not. It's not something that was lightly hinted at. It's not something that was lightly touched on. No, they straight on said it. Like, this is how it is.
No, that makes sense now, I guess. But, I thought it was like an auntie situation. Like one of the things where the dad might have been a little bit promiscuous, let's call it.
Yeah. I mean, like, probably was.
Mm-hmm. So, but what was one of your favorite parts of it?
Anyways, so we're kind of skipping around a lot, right? And the main story is as Yuzu, the blonde hair character, who is the sister of Akane, the red hair character that you graciously talked to us about, right? Yeah. One of the other people that you get introduced into this anime is Akane pretty soon after. Now, one of the interesting things about Akane is she is a cold-blooded killer. She is a stone cold killer. She will straight up murder, but she has an intense infatuation with Seiji, and you learn about it, you understand it, and that's one of the great things about this, right? Is in this anime, they don't just have something in there for any in particular reason or just for no reason whatsoever, or leave you hanging without going into the greater detail, without venturing or giving you an answer, at least further down the line or a little further down the line, so that way you have a better understanding of what's happening or what's going on. And so when you're introduced to Akane, you learn why she's so obsessed with him. And it's not an answer you get immediately, but you do get an answer further down the line. You also learn why she is the way she is. And the exact same thing for Yuzu. You learn why she's so obsessed with Akane. And then you learn also why she is the way she is. And it's all this information that's not immediately thrown at you, but it's kind of teased at a little bit here and there. And then they go into a greater explanation for it. And then they give you the final piece of the puzzle so that way you understand what's going on. And the exact same thing for Shikimi, who's also introduced, Guri, the exact same thing. So it's not like you're never going to get answers in this anime. You do get your answers. They're just never upfront or right away. That being said,
that's fair.
There is one character that randomly pops up that keeps coming back that we never get answers for on why he's showing up, why he's there, why he keeps coming back, or anything else, why he's so obsessed with Aqua, who is Seiji's sister. And that is Stolas, the Psycho Penguin that like has the very fact that he shows up and is just insane beyond belief is miraculous and funny in and of itself. So it is something that you really kind of get thrown off when he does pop up, simply because there is no explanation as to why he's there. No one knows why he's there. No one knows why he's so obsessed with her either. It's just,
I legit thought he was a ghost.
I mean, like, might as well be at one point. But it is a character that keeps coming back that you get no background to, no backstory to, no information on whatsoever. Just randomly and continuously pops up, which is weird, but also aggravating, because I have all those questions. Like, why does he keep popping up? Why does he keep showing up? Why is he so obsessed with Aqua?
It's the power of love.
Yeah, from the suggestions in his eyes, which I do love the fact that when they gave him a voice, but they highlighted in little text with an arrow saying, is what his eyes are saying. And everyone just instinctively knows that's what he's saying with his eyes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's good,
It's a good
but
character.
it's aggravating.
Yeah, I figure he's a good character, and it's definitely not lazy writing to not give him many roles in here, but he does pop up at random times.
Yeah.
So, any hooser, I feel like, as frustrating as it might sound, any further we go into spoiler territory.
Yeah.
Do you think so or no?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, honestly, we covered the main points of it. I feel like there's a few other things that kind of happen in the series, in the show, that are kind of really end game things that I don't know. I feel like they could have done better leading up to it. I feel like it could have been better broached or touched on, or I will say this, and then we'll go into our ratings. I feel like it is something that they introduced quickly and then almost immediately gave a resolution for.
So in your mind,
they said, here's this big boom. And then immediately went, all right, here it is resolved.
Kind of ham-fisted, if you will.
Yeah. So I did not like that.
Okay.
So
do you think they kind of ran out of time?
No, I think that's just how they wrote it.
Okay.
Unfortunately. So with that, I have nothing else to say. I'm assuming you're ready for a rating, sir?
Indeed, I am, yes.
All right. So on a scale of up to 10, how would you rate this?
Well, I can't rate it seriously because it feels like a joke anime, which is a good thing. And so I can't give it like a dramatic, 7 or something like that. But the quality was top tier in my mind. They didn't skimp on the animation. The jokes never stopped. I loved 99% of them. Some of the characters came in and were surprising, I would say, in a good way. And the writing, up until I would say probably episode 8 or so, was very fluid, and it felt decently paced. After that, I kind of agree with you. It kind of got mushed together. Each episode felt like, again, except for maybe the beach one, each episode felt necessary and very well filled out. It didn't feel like a waste of time, and I wasn't sitting there looking at my watch waiting for it to be over. I liked it. I would recommend it. I would recommend it as a really, really good palate cleanser, as something that is easy to consume. Maybe not in public, because there are certain dialogues in English where you're like, well, I'm glad nobody else is around. So I would give this a solid 7, maybe 8. No, 7. I'm giving this a 7.
Okay.
And you?
For me, I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a 7 as well.
Oh, okay.
Largely for those reasons, but it was mainly because, for all the negative points that I said, but it was an enjoyable and fun show regardless. So it is one that you don't have to take particularly too seriously. And it is certainly not bad in regards to
giving you information, right? So they do at least explain some of the stuff that's out there. So that way you have some of the answers. This is just a few things that kind of are left out to the wayside. So, all right. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Next week's choice, we're going to be talking about The Boy and the Heron, which is a random choice for us, and it's a movie. So, if you feel like we got something right, something wrong, did it too much justice, not enough justice, or anything like that, feel free to let us know. Go ahead and reach out to us, and all the information and everything like that is available in the show notes. Also, if you feel so inclined, leave us a review or rating on your platform of choice. It does help us out, help us grow, helps us gain discoverability. And until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick, and we'll see you next time.